The president from Ecuador right now just had like an incredible breakdown. It was going crazy, the whole situation. He's getting some mentoring, some feedback, some assessment from a guy who's doing a phenomenal job in El Salvador, from Nayib Bukele.
Hmm.
So they're getting all these criminals under control. They're getting all these drug dealers under control. But a guy who is also shaking things up is coming from Argentina. As you know, the World Economic Forum is doing their annual let us remind you how good we are and you are not type of meeting, right? Let us remind you how you truly are a second class citizen,
Yep.
but we're doing this for you.
Hmm.
We're doing this for you because you need to be careful like a baby. So we need to tell you what to eat, what to drink, what to. This is an institution that makes no apologies by making it very clear that the intention is to tell you how to live. And it could come under some kind of misguided idea that all they want to do is what's best for the planet and what's best for people. But at the end of the day, we know that all the stuff that's coming out of it is not healthy. So here you have somebody who, again, is not a capitalist, he's a libertarian. And usually for libertarians, it's a question of no intervention, right? But he actually goes out there, calls everybody out, and makes an argument for capitalism as the only way that people can actually lift themselves up, come out of poverty. The reason why you see so many people heading to the United States is because it's one of the only few last places where you still have a little bit of capitalism going on. I don't know that I can call it capitalism anymore. You know what I mean? But definitely not pure capitalism anymore. What we have is a hybrid state of financial or a hybrid economy. The fact that he actually had the brass, lady things that are to actually go in front of them, call everybody out and said, you are part of the problem. You are essentially the problem. And to make an argument for the benefit of capitalism so that people can actually build a future for themselves was actually a remarkable thing to say. I didn't even think he was going to get invited, to be quite honest with you. So
Right.
what's your take on that, guys?
I wonder the friggin' what is it? Schwab, is it? Schwab is the guy that put the event together. He's like, Milei was like, look, if you know what I'm like, why would you invite me? Type of thing, right? Si me conoce, ¿pa qué me invitan?
Yeah.
Uh, type of scenario. But shout out to Milei. He's been shaking the status quo since he was running. His campaign was definitely different. Walking into the presidency, it was definitely different, and people are realizing more and more that it wasn't a front. It's just he believes in what he believes, and he's gonna say what he's gonna say, and he's gonna do what he's gonna do. It's exciting to see if Argentina is gonna follow suit for what El Salvador actually got to accomplish, because that makes it a blueprint. It's like you do it once, you may have gotten lucky. You do it twice, you may know what you're doing. It'll be interesting to see what third country comes in and that's something similar, because that makes it a blueprint, and it's very exciting to see that level of pushback. As far as the World Economic Forum and whatever happened in Davos, it finished yesterday, and I'm looking here at the four biggest takeaways that come from the forum. Number one, by the way, this is by the website, by the World Economic Forum website. It says leaders need to pull together global cooperation and security, in response to global challenges such as climate change, AI, and all of these different things. And number two, projections are not destiny, and so they're coming up with a whole new model of growth, whatever that may be. It's kind of like scary. And number three, humans are going to have better tools, talking about AI and opportunities as well as challenges. And number four, urgency is our only savior. And it's specifically talking about climate change and building new energy systems. So again, it's just kind of like I, I don't understand how these guys, the number one concern is, how much a cow farts, and how much meat you're eating, and how
Here's
we're
the
all gonna freeze to death or burning hell. I don't know. It's like
here's the statement that you got to grapple with, Alexis Smith. You will own nothing
nothing,
and
right?
will be happy.
I don't know. It depends on how much how much access I have to this thing that I so-called don't own. Because if I never own my car, but I'm the only one who gets to drive it, I don't know. It depends. It depends. So here's my whole take on it though. But I feel like at the end of the day, I don't trust nobody really, to be honest. So I feel like they look out with the whole World Economic Forum. They look to be like a positive voice, or like the people who's like speaking. But at the end of the day, everybody has their own interest, in mind. So it sounds good when I care about the planet. When there's a call for a new world order, these are the things we need. But I don't believe that they have the best intentions, across the board. I feel like that they want to do the things that are good for them. Do you get what I'm saying? It's good for their investors, so it's not necessarily the best thing for the planet. So yes, definitely I want everybody to go green. If it's my partner's company who owns all the solar panels, or if it's my partner's companies that own the whole green movement, then yes, definitely I want you to do that, right? So I feel like there's certain concepts that they have that I can understand, but I don't believe that they have the right ideas as far as why they want to do these things. I think at the end of the day, it's marketing. It's marketing for people to spend money with them versus somebody else. For to think the way they think, to where once again you're subscribing to our newsletters, you're subscribing to our ideals, which equals in the end of the day you're going to spend money with us. So it sounds good. It sounds good in theory. Even the things that seem positive, I think it's all just marketing for me.
Well, here are some of the troubling things that I want you to consider, right? When it comes to Davos right now, just about 1 in 10 travel by private jet.
Very green. It's very
Actually,
green.
there's a second report that says that just about everybody travel in private jets. And again, the whole argument starts with, listen, what's better for the planet, right? Let's be good stewards. You know what I mean? Let's see if we can make this thing last. There's a lot of the arguments that they will make that are reasonable, right? Can we do better? Like, I think that's a reasonable question that any reasonable person will accept, will embrace, and say, you know what? Can we do better? Yes, we can probably do better. But if you're going to be the one having that argument, that would be like the unfortunate situation that took place right now with our current first lady making a stop at a high school that is called Hunter's High. I don't know what the full name is on it. So when she's giving the speech in front of everybody, the sign, the only thing that you're reading under her is
The
Hunter's
truth.
High. And so, like, you can't make this up. You know what I mean? You can't. Like. There's some stuff that say, like, guys, we need to make sure that this is not gonna look well. Here's the lady, first lady, with a sign that says under her, Hunter High, right? And so we have the people that are saying we need to do better for the planet. 53% of them, 53% of the people that travel by private jet were under 750 kilometers. That's driving distance, Alexi. That's less than New York.
Yeah.
Essentially. That's literally somebody could have gone by commercial planes if you wanted to. Somebody, by the way, Javier Milei from Argentina, travel commercial. This guy hasn't used. Argentina has a private plane. He hasn't sold it yet. I don't know if he's going to sell it. I'm not even asking him to sell it.
Yeah.
But what the guy is saying is there is no money in the country.
He said, no hay dinero. That's right.
There's no dinero. There is no money, right? And so he's giving an example of I'm not going to be going through. So I don't, that is the problem is when they're telling you what's good for you, but it's not good for them.
Right.
When they're telling you to do something that sounds great to do, but they are not willing to do it.
Correct.
And so that is the part that is extremely, extremely, again, questionable. The problem is that from private entities to countries to head of states to how did this guy who looks like the brother-in-law of Darth Vader, you know what I mean, and looks like him, sounds like him, you know what I mean, managed to achieve this? But he brags about how quickly they were able to acquire the level of influence and power to the extent that they now connected to the United Nations. They have diplomatic immunity. You're not even a country. How do you acquire diplomatic immunity? Like these guys can literally have an office in New York, drive around. You can't even arrest this guy, even if he's drunk driving, or he can park anywhere. Doesn't have to pay a ticket. So I don't like this. I am, creating a second class citizen. The same people that talk about this against discrimination are discriminated. The same people that are supposed to be the stewards of the planet, or at least to carry that conversation, are the ones that are affecting and dividing the most. So I give Milei, listen, man, this again. I'm hoping that things will fall into place and that he will be able to be very strategic about his process, get the kind of result. But the simple fact that he was willing to say, maybe you should have known better. I don't know why you invited me, because if you were thinking that I was going to say anything different than what I just did, I have no clue.
Right.
But the organization is an organization that people at this point have to pay attention. This is a group that you need to be a little concerned about. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. You know what I mean?
By the way, I'm gonna start flying Frontier again just so that I can bump into Javier Milei at the terminal.
No, by the way, the only reason why I don't fly Frontier, just so you know, is because I want to fly less. I want to burn a lot of, and the idea that I got to go from Florida all the way up to Alaska to come back to Texas, that's a little too much for me. I think that's not helping the planet. Who's the one designing the flight plans for these companies? I have no idea, guys. But that's kind of like the way. Besides the fact that you're gonna miss the plane 1,000 times, and they're gonna send you in different locations, and hopefully, God willing, you'll get your luggage. And so now you're buying more things. You're consuming even more. It's not a good thing. Not a good thing. Frontier is definitely not good for the planet. Definitely not good for my mental health. You know what I mean? I tried it. There's a few things that I have zero desire to ever go back to. That's one of them. So